a very important question was asked. How come the Yoruba language is indigenous to Ilorin, but the head of the city is not Yoruba? How come Ilorin people are speaking Yoruba? Yoruba language is indigenous. Indigenous of Ilorin are speaking Yoruba, but the head of the city, which is the emir of Ilorin, an emir, a Fulani name, the head of the city is not Yoruba. He says, can you shed light on that? Ilorin isn't a Yoruba name as well. Ilorin is not a Yoruba name as well. Tell me more. He was asking somebody on stream there. Let's look at the response. A war happened and the Yoruba lost control over the city. Remember the war between Afonja, Alimi, and Co. A war happened and Yoruba lost control over the city. It was a change in leadership, not a change in language. Of course, the religion and culture of the victorious will prevail. This is where he explained the history to this man that asked the question. But where I find fault, because this is a Yoruba man, I believe, his name is Abdul Kui Olalekan. I think he's a Muslim scholar answering that question, telling about the history of how Alimi defeated Afonja and they took over Ilorin. And people are surprised that despite the fact that these guys have emir of Ilorin, but people are speaking Yoruba language. This is where he narrated and started making some statements that I don't think anybody should make. He says, and we are happy Islam gained ground and took over. First, let's put the facts straight. Kwara is a Yoruba state with an emir of Ilorin. However, the religion took over. The Fulani have been saying it over and over again that they have a connection with the Yorubas. They have something similar with the Yorubas, which is religion and Islam. Some people in Ilorin have historic ties with the Nupe, the Fulani and everything. That's other story for other times. But religion will come second to tradition and culture. The culture and tradition of a people is much more important than any religion whatsoever, as we see it. Because there's a controversy in Iseyin. An Imam said that the Imam is greater than the Oba. The Imam is greater than the king. And this man that answered this question is supporting that assertion from the Iseyin Imam. He's saying that we are happy Islam gained ground and took over. Remember how Isheshe festival, they tackled it and it was banned, and they stopped any form of traditional festival in that city, in that state. How Wole Soyinka said all sorts of things. He spoke Bibi grammar over the matter. But at the end of the day, nothing happened. Many Yoruba people reacted and reacted. Nothing happened. Because some people have been brainwashed that religion comes before tradition. No. You are first a human being, one. Number two, you're either, after you're a human being, Yoruba, Hausa or Igbo, before we look at whether you're Christian or Muslim. You can't say you're a human being first, then a Christian. No, it's not possible. Because all these tribes you see, looking at all these tribes, Fulani, they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are atheists. In Hausa, they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are atheists. In Yoruba, they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are atheists. In Igbo, they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are atheists. All joined together. This will come third. After you as a human being first, then you are Yoruba, your nationality, your identity, your culture, your tradition, then before your religion. But here, these Fulani Islamic fundamentalists, they will never rest until they push their agenda. That's how they used to go for their conquest. Supporting things that will cause division. And they know that the Christian faith and practice, they don't do violence. Democracy has protected Christianity. I'm telling you. Democracy protected Christianity. Because if not, if it were those old days, you see them, they will have started gathering armies, moving from one village to the other, trying to test their power to overcome. But there's a democratic constitution that is laid down. You cannot do this or that. So they use style. They cannot do what Muhammad did by moving from town to town, conquering people and converting them to Islam. This is the 21st century. They know they cannot do such a thing because they wish they could get involved in such acts. They wish so, but they are limited. They cannot, because this is democracy. This is another system of government. There's a revolution. This is the 21st century. But now they are using style, using back of leg, using manipulation, using deceitfulness. They are moving neither here nor there, trying to install Islam in the Southwest in its strongest way and measures. Look at what this man is saying. This Abdul Koyi Olalekon. He's saying that Christians are subjugating Muslims in the Southwest. We have said it over and over again. The last 8 years we had Muslims as governors. Nobody said anything. Nobody was complaining that this guy are Muslim, that Muslims are Muslims. Now we are currently running a Muslim ticket, which these same people would never ever support Christian ticket. Everybody has overlooked the Muslim ticket. These guys did not say it is wrong. Oh, Muslims must run Muslim Christian. They kept quiet. But just because of an overstool, everybody is now talking from two sides of their mouth. I have said it. If you don't stop extremism in Nigeria, extremism will have to destroy some people's culture and tradition. Imagine you replacing culture with religion. Religion that is the tradition of the Arabs. You bring other people's culture and replace with your own culture and identity. The Arabs themselves, they don't regard blacks. If you see how Arabs treat your kind in Africa, if you see how Arabs, not talk about the Europeans might not be the people, their culture you are imbibing, you are taking on. If you see how they treat blacks till today, you will never ever imagine that these people can bring anything good in form of religion to you. But yet, what do I know? Some people claim that 70% of Yorubas are Muslims, and in the next 2027 elections, they are going to take over. Nothing will happen because your figures are wrong. At the end of the day, if you are going into politics, coming to politics will teach you what is going to happen 2027. When we talk about voting power and voting strength, the Southeast, the South, there will be a cash cow, because I think this is between the North and the Southwest, the North and the Yorubas. Atiku, Erofai and Co., they want to secure their own region. I'm telling you, they believe so much in what they can do in their own region. Tinubu would secure his own region, and they believe so much in what they can do in the Southwest. Then the Southeast is undecided. It's either they woo the Southeast from the Southwest, or they woo the Southeast from the North. We know that the incumbents in Nigeria, the system we practice in Nigeria about incumbents is they have power to manipulate, they have power to influence, they have power to inflate, they have power to do so many things. Because as it is, looking at the last elections, I've seen that we have not had any perfect elections. Some people even call Nigeria a lawless society, whereby corruption is prevalent in most of the agencies of government that we find today. So it is very easy for the incumbent to try and do one or two abracadabra. So now the Southeast will be the next port of call. And the Southwest know how to sway in the Southeast. I'm talking about politicians. See, when I'm talking about politics, because these guys want to bring in politics, these Sharia law Islamic fundamentalists. When I'm talking about politics, I'm talking about stakeholders. Because as we speak so, under this current APC regime, your votes do not count as it is supposed to. People are being demoralized. People don't trust in the voting system because they believe the votes do not count. So those that count are the stakeholders, the political stakeholders. So if I'm saying that the Tinubu, APC and Co. that have really done a lot to the Southeasterners will still come to the Southeast to woo the Southeasterners, I'm talking about the stakeholders, your governors and your politicians. Look at Uzodin Man, APC, hated by the people, not loved by the people. He's even, some people, they are even, if I tell you what people have in mind to do to a Hope Uzodin Man and whatever he represents, you'll be shocked. how these people hate Hope Uzodinma. But yes, under APC, he won 27 local government. So if you're asking a question, do the vote of the people really count? First, the APC government has the capacity to stop you from voting. Whatever the reasons might be, many people are being disenfranchised. The government has the capacity to do so. So how come and Hope Uzodinma won 27 local government is yet to be studied. Now, in all that we're seeing, the Southeast will be a bride. People will come to court, the Southeast. P2B might be looked upon to deliver the Southeast for whoever, for his large following and how people are endeared to him. So this is a battle. It's not a battle between religion. Religion, you cannot say because you are Muslims this, you mobilize 12 and 7, then because the Christians are taking over positions and this, because you have intention and agenda to cause division, then you say Muslims 12 and 7, Muslim does not count. There's no religious, everybody is aligning together. I'm telling you, if you are bringing in religion, you remember the APC is running a Muslim ticket, and they know how to play that game. That aside, now, Saudi Arabia, an imam, the Imam of Saudi Arabia, was pushing extremist ideologies and whatever. The king, sacked him. The king disposed him sharp. There's no how that the imam will be greater than the king. You are threatening violence in Iseyin. This is typical of why we don't want extremism in the south. You are threatening that if you people get angry, if it's up now, nobody will feel hold you in Iseyin. If you look at Iseyin very well, those years, the earlier years, Iseyin was a Christian community. Christians dominated Iseyin before all this radicalism came in and they started burning churches, started displacing people up and down. That's how they do their evangelism. They started doing all sort of things, burning, displacing, and doing all sort of things, and until we have almost 70% majority in Iseyin are Muslims, and they have continued with this their threats because they believe the governor installed a Christian king, and that Oba is against whatever they believe. I've told you that these Islamic fundamentalists, they cannot live with anybody. I'm telling you, the fundamentalists, we have moderate Muslims, those ones can. But these ones, if they stay in a community, their body could bite them. Because it is all about conquest, dominance. They will live their own practice. And they'll be poking their eyes into somebody else's practice, that this person is a kafir, is this, he must bow, he must do this. Like what happened in England. Some of those guys, you ran away from a country, somebody else brought you in because you could not, your country that you are practicing your Sharia, your Islam and everything, you could not stay there. It was not conducive for you. You now came to somebody's country that is a Christian, that the economy is good and everything. You started getting benefits from that country. All of a sudden, you brought in the religion of the place you're running from, that could not give you health care, that could not take care of your family and children, that could not give you housing allowance, that there was always fight from one sect to another. You brought that religion into the peaceful place, and you're now calling for Sharia, bringing out knives and everything. Is that not lunacy? So I've said that these extremists, they can't stay in one place with somebody. They can't. They must find ways of running any other person down. That is why these people are coming, because of an Oba is not Muslim of Iseyin. An Oba is not Muslim, you are now bringing out that threat. Somebody burns the Holy Quran of his own accord. The DSS arrested him. That this is somebody threatening violence. Let's see what is going to happen. Why will you threaten the people? Why? This is extremist ideology. Deborah was killed and so many things happened. The guys are walking free because it seems like when these guys lay hold of any institution, they want to Islamize it. They want to make it look like Islamization. I'm telling you, that's why we must support the current administration to restructure the country. That is the only place you can support. Restructure the country. Make sure that it is even. After central bank, you go to every other. Thank God, I think the customs is being restructured now. Yes, entries are being taken, and most people that will not make it don't have qualifications. And where do you have those people? Most of them are in the north, because of course we can't have people that can't speak or communicate in English, which is the lingua franca of Nigeria. And you, because you have school start and everything, because you have connection, because of your tribe person is a controller, or they are more in the customs, then people that are qualified don't have the space to enter. You bring in illiterates and whatever, people that are less qualified. That's why 1,000 people could go in central bank, and the rumor is that most of them are from the north. How did they get there in the first place? We have many people studying accounting, banking and finance from the south with 2-1 and first class. Most of them are riding Okada, because some people decide to hijack a system and use diabolical means and manipulative means to make sure that that system only favors a particular part of the region, which has made Nigeria not to move forward. It has been a clog in the wheel of progress of the country called Nigeria. As much as we understand that this is democracy, we would not allow people bringing extremist ideas into the commonwealth of a people that want to live peacefully. So in his saying, nobody is going to accept the fact that one imam is greater than the king. If you like, the governor is a king in his saying. The imam is a king when it comes to the religion of Islam in that place. When the governor gives a directive, let the imam disobey. I told you, democracy is one of the things that is stopping these people from going rogue. You know, the governor has soldiers and armies. They have authority over them. An imam can be sent out of that community. An imam can be suspended by the governor. Without that, they will have acted otherwise. But now they are using systematic means, running rogue from one place to another, systematically, doing one or two things, systematically, thinking that people are not watching them. But now, 2025, we are going to stop narratives. We are going to stop people from going rogue and bringing all sort of ideologies that will not bring progress and development, especially to the southwest and other southern parts of the country. We have seen how Sharia have destroyed communities, have destroyed societies, have destroyed institutions. Go and look at Saudi Arabia. They are bragging that they are practicing pure Islam. And you see, these guys are progressing. I'm telling you, these guys are progressing. Most of these Islamic countries that are not progressing are against the kind of Islam Saudi Arabia practices. Extremism, Muslim Brotherhood, they send them out. They sent them out. They pushed them. So these are the elements we find in Nigeria today that want to start flourishing, that want to start causing problem. Let me tell you, whether you like it or not, these guys have failed and they will continue to fail. Nobody is going to be above the king. The king will give a directive. No imam would have to go against that directive. If the king bows to the imam or is respect, because somebody wants to cite, okay, your government, you go to Baba Deboye and they kneel down and he prays for them. Spiritually, physically, the guy has power to stop. During the COVID-19, the government gave directive now, told people that so time, everybody stayed at home. So because you are an imam, you say no because your Baba is going to say today, people, this is Oro, nobody should come out because you are an imam. And you believe that you cannot bow to the king because you have some extremist ideology. Some people are pumping ideas into your head. You say you still come out, you disobey the king over the Oro because your Oba is greater than the king. Come out now. These are the people that caused religious crisis. And I don't know how carefully these Fulani guys are importing all this extremism into the south. You want people to start fighting themselves in the southwest, becoming enemies. when you look on social media, you see as people are cursing themselves, people are saying all sorts of words against themselves, and they are Southwesterners. Of course, how they switch from the Southwest hitting the North hitting the Southwest over the tax bill and other policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the North calling Tinubu a one-term president, while the South are saying that they are going to do this and that. They now switch it. The conversation now is between the Southwest Christian and the Southwest Muslim. So they have shifted the focus from their side, and it is now them hitting themselves in the Southwest, wanting to cause division, wanting to cause problem or the other. But see, all those updates, all those old system, it don't cast. It no go fit happen for 2025. 2025 is a year to restructure, and every narrative and every agenda must not agenda. 2025, every agenda must not agenda. It is a year of restructuring, putting things in right perspective. Protect your culture, protect your tradition. It is who you are. Religion comes and modifies it. I might want to put this out. I would say most cultures and traditions are outdated. It is now left for the people to update it to their own taste, to meet with current realities. You understand? Same with language. Modify. Things need to be modified. The English was modified many times. The dictionary has put in some words. The issue we have with our culture and traditions is that we don't upgrade and modify it. That's the big issue we have with our culture and tradition. If we are used to modifying it, then some of these people will not come and be bringing one strange religion to us and saying blah 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 and become extremists with religion. Modify our culture and tradition so that it can meet with the current realities. Ireo.